Melania Trump, the former and incoming first lady, unfortunately, sat down with Fox News, and they made a little bit of an oopsie that I don't think Melania Trump's husband, Donald Trump, is going to be happy with. We'll talk about that, get into some clips from the interview, and then get into something that I find much more important related to Melania Trump. But first, Fox and Friends, when teasing this interview, accidentally described her as, you can see it in the lower third chyron, the second lady. Melania opens up about becoming second lady again. This, of course, that's all you need to give the World Wide Web for them to create something beautiful. Aaron Rupar saying Fox and Friends this morning described Melania Trump as the quote-unquote second lady, and Patriot Takes and just about everyone else in the comments emphasize that this is because they're taking President Musk into account. So then I guess Trump in that scenario would be vice president. Someone said second to Elonia. Some people call him the true president. Some people call him the the first lady, Elonia Musk. Now, this sort of humor, the reason why it actually does get under Trump's skin is because of this. Trump is reportedly complaining about Elon in private and hates President Musk joke. After months of getting close, the relationship between Trump and his so-called first buddy has become fraught, according to a New York Times reporter. So hilarious that they made the mistake of describing her as second lady there amid all of that. A little bit of an embarrassing oopsie. But let's get into the actual content of this. Melania did make a point to specify that she does not agree with Trump on everything. While you watch this clip, please do click the subscribe button if you would be so kind.
Here is a little bit of our interview with her, and this was her. We asked her what's different this time than it was when he was president before. Do you feel like you're in a different space now than you were 8 years ago?
I feel I was always me the first time as well. I just feel that people didn't accept me, maybe. They didn't understand me the way maybe they do now. And I didn't have much support. Maybe. Yeah,
I gotta say, if I were to tell you the major thing that has changed about me over the last 7 years, it's been my understanding of Melania Trump. Just who she is as a person has grown so much in my mind. I've really grown in my understanding of her. That's been a top priority.
Some people, they see me as just a wife of the president, but I'm standing on my own 2 feet, independent. I have my own thoughts. I have my own yes and no. I don't always agree what my husband is saying or doing, and that's okay.
Are you able to tell him when you disagree?
I gave him my advice, and sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't, and that's okay.
You know, she's exactly right. One of the things that she had to endure in the Trump administration.
So right. I don't care how much money these folks get paid. I would not be able to muster the, whatever you describe it as. Is it strength? I would not have the durability, the spineless durability. What does that mean? To act like what she said there was profound. She's so right. I mean, she's her own person. Have you ever thought of that? Like she's a person and she has 2 feet that she stands on. And sometimes when she disagrees with her husband, he takes her advice. Sometimes she doesn't. That's the only part I don't believe. I don't think Trump has ever taken her advice on anything, just like how he doesn't take anyone's advice unless he agrees with it, which isn't really taking people's advice. I used to get into that disagreement, by the way, with my parents growing up. They would say, you never listen when we request changes from you or give you advice. And I say, I constantly take your advice. But then they made a good point, which was, I take it when it was already what I was planning on doing. I take it when I agree with their analysis. Checkmate. Here's another clip.
Maybe some people, they see me as just a wife of the president, but I'm standing on my own 2 feet, independent. I have
It's what we watched, but it's going into another part.
my own thoughts. I have my own yes and no. I don't always agree what my husband is saying or doing, and that's okay.
Are you able to tell him when you disagree?
I gave him my advice, and sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't, and that's okay.
And where will you be spending most of your time? In the White House, Palm Beach, here in New York?
I will be in the White House, and when I need to be in New York, I will be in New York. When I need to be in Palm Beach, I will be in Palm Beach. But my first priority is, to be a mom, to be a first lady, to be a wife, and.
Wait, which one is it? You said your first priority. Is it mother, first lady, or wife? Tell me. I need to know. I need to know that Melania cares about me as my first lady. Does she care about me at all? Don't put Barron in front of me. I should be your top priority.
Once we are in on January 20, it's you serve the country.
Yeah, and then I know what you're thinking. Well, first of all, interesting that when she gets asked, what's different about your headspace? She goes, I don't always agree with Donald, and I'm my own person. It's kind of an interesting distancing from Trump. But then if you are wondering to yourself, waiting with bated breath, what is she going to get to work on when she talks about serving the American people? What can we expect from her? Well, it's pretty obvious. What have we all been missing in our lives? Be best.
I will continue with Be Best, and also I will expand Be Best. I started in the first administration. I didn't have much support from anyone. I invited all of the streaming platforms to the White House. I had the round table, and I didn't have much support from them. And imagine what we could do in those years if they will rally behind me and teach the children and protect them about the social media and their.
Yeah, so Be Best is, a lot of people have made fun of sort of the way that not being the most effective branding to Be Best, like just not landing Be Best. But I'm actually fine with that. Okay, that's not my issue with it. And I love pushing back against, I think it had to do with like bullying. It was just crazy for her to spearhead an anti-bullying campaign given who her husband is. That's wild. That's, I can't tell if that's a slap in the face to him or to us. Oh, what am I going to work on? Trying to teach kids not to be like my husband. Now, what's more important than this interview? Reporting like this. Melania's $40 million Amazon deal, another sign Bezos is capitulating to Donald Trump. The language in a New York Times article is extremely restrained as it described Jeff Bezos' evolving stance regarding Donald Trump. And it talks about how Bezos donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund, just like Zuckerberg, just like so many people who are just completely capitulating. And then we're now learning about the latest relationship repair steps. A $40 million licensing fee from Amazon for the great honor of producing a documentary on Melania Trump. This is just a handout to Melania Trump. And we are in such a scary time where one billionaire after another, one media mogul after another. Remember, Bezos owns the Washington Post. Are going, please, Daddy, I mean Donald, like me. Don't implement retribution against me. And this is a reminder of how it's just us, okay? If we're going to advocate on behalf of, protect our democratic norms, protect the American dream, protect American principles that we should all be patriotic towards, the ones that Trump is attacking daily, We're not waiting on some other more powerful person to come help us with that. It's us. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.